Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to my channel. It's your guy Uncle once again. In today's tutorial, we are doing something different from what I mostly do on this channel. Yeah, we are trying a landscape tutorial in Capture One today, where I walk you through how I actually graded this for phone shots. Yeah. So guys, come along with me. Let's start today's tutorial. Okay, this is my first Capture One tutorial on this channel, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so first and foremost, I'll load my picture, as you can see already in this window. And there's a backstory to this pic. Actually, I went to visit a friend, and when I was coming back at a lorry terminal, the place was very busy, and I actually saw the sunset. Nature was really looking nice at that particular moment. It was during golden hour, and nature was looking so aligned, so I decided to actually freeze the moment with whatever I had on me. So as at that time, I took it some years ago, and I actually shot this with let's check the information here behind the image. Okay, so inside the metadata, it says the camera we used to actually shoot this is an Infinix, and it was shot at ISO 108, shutter speed 1 out of 105, and aperture was at f1.8. so basically I shot this with a phone. Yeah, as a photographer, I think you should actually document life just as it happens around you. Okay, yeah. So let's start the whole tutorial session for today by, first and foremost, what I'll do is I'll work on the composition and the framing, because I think somehow it's looking a bit slanted to the right. If I'm supposed to frame it with this pole or tower here, it's looking more tilted to the right because I showed with the phone and the place was busy. I just picked the phone out and I just snapped it. So what I'll do is to actually work on the crop, because I'll be posting on Instagram. I'll work on the crop. I'll use the 4:5 Instagram aspect ratio, and work on the rotation. So I'll make sure all my elements in the shot are looking straight. Okay, but then I would want to ignore the cars below. I want to give it the silhouette kind of look, so I decided to actually ignore the cars and also crop in a bit more to make more emphasis on how nature is aligned here, how vast the sunset was looking at that time. I think I should bring it a bit down this way. Okay, so this really look pleasing to the eyes. First and foremost, what I'll actually do to this image, an image of this nature, is actually to work on the overall exposure and give it a bit of punch to it. So I'll first and foremost add contrast, which is a contrast of, let's say, plus 15. Boost the saturation up a bit because it's already looking pale, and I'm going for this fiery look. You know, sunset actually is mostly characterized with fiery look. So what I'll do is to give it a bit of saturation. So let's say somewhere around 25. Let's use 20. 20 is okay. And inside the shadows, because I want to give it the silhouette look, I'll just dial the shadows down to make it a bit deeper. But then I'll come back and work on the shadows. Okay, so with the highlight, because I want to retain a lot of information in the highlights, I will just dial it down to -50, so you can see what it does to it. Exactly. So you can see there are some details retained over here in the highlight. Exactly. So I'll come to the clarity. Hold on, before then I'll come into the blacks and make my shadow areas more darker because I want to give it this silhouette look. Yeah, and inside my clarity I'll bump it up to give it a bit of dimension and some sort of punchiness to my image. Bumping up the clarity will also give it a bit of definition to it. Okay, so let me see the before and after. Before, after. Okay, so the whole overall look, there was the raw state, and I converted into this. I think it's looking really cool. So the next thing I'll do is to work on the individual colors of the image. So I'll come back into the color tab here, and inside the color tab, what I'll do is the individual colors of the image, I will either change the hue or probably just play around with the slide so that it suits the kind of look I'm going in for. So the first thing I'll do is to get into the reds, and one way you can actually see the colors, the actual colors in the image is Capture One already does good with actually targeting colors to me. That's why I moved to Capture One. Yeah, so if you want to know the part of the image being affected by the individual colors here, what you have to do is to either desaturate it and see where it really affects. So in this case, we have reds in there. We really have reds in there, but if you really don't check it out, you wouldn't see that we have reds in there. Around this area, there are reds. So if I desaturate it down this way, you can see the place is getting saturated. So what I'll do is to add a bit of saturation, let's say plus 15 to it, and in the lightness or the luminance light, I'll dial it down to -10. And because I'm going in for this fiery look, what I'll do is come into the orange color tab, and just as I said earlier on, it's actually to actually know where the color is really affecting. So see where the oranges are being affected. Yeah, exactly. So because I'm going in for the fiery look, I'll just add saturation to the orange areas. Let's say plus 40 is okay, and I'll dial the lightness down a bit to -5. So before and after. Anytime you're working on an image, try your best to actually go back and forth with watching what you are actually doing to the image by switching between the before and the after of how far you have to come with the image. When that you actually get to know the improvements you are doing, and so much edit actually may end up distorting your images. Okay, so then because we also have yellow here, so with that let me desaturate it and see where it really affects. Okay, so we have yellows in there, so I'll then bump the saturation up a bit because of the fiery look I'm going in for. And I don't think we have greens here. Let me check. I can't really see any greens being affected here, so I'll leave the slider as it is, and let's check the aqua. Okay, so let me saturate the sea. I can't really see the aqua same there, so I'll just leave the slider there as it is. And inside the blue tab, so I think just as you can see from the image, it's very obvious that there are some blues in there. So when you saturate the blues, you can see it's really affecting the vibe of the whole look. So what I'll do is, first and foremost, I mostly like pushing teals into my images. Yeah, so what I'll first do to the blues is to dial it down to the teals. It's somewhere around -30. It's okay, and I'll desaturate it a bit and dial down the luminance or the lightness. Somewhere around -50 is fine. So before and after of how the image was looking like. And let's check over here. Drag it down. I don't see any. Okay, there are some colors in there. Being affected. So I'll add a bit of saturation. Let's say plus 5. It's okay. And now we'll decrease the lightness by -10. And also inside the last tab, let's check. Being desaturated, seems nothing is there. Okay, there is some colors in there. Okay, so with this one I would want to desaturate a bit, so let's say -10. It's okay. And let's switch in before and after. Before, after. Okay, so I think I'm getting that fiery look I was actually going in for. Yeah, but then one thing I would also want to do is to, inside my color balance tab, I would want to add some sort of blues and things into my shadow. So I'll move into the teals and add a bit of teal into my shadows. This way, not too much, just a tad bit of it, and I think I'll be fine. Okay, that is very cool. Let me check how the black and white will look before. The black and white is actually looking cool, but then I didn't intend going in for a black and white look. Always just play around with the sliders and feed your eyes with good stuff, both online and anywhere you actually go to seek inspiration. By that, you actually build your creative mind. Okay, because I'm going in for a more silhouette look, I'll come into my curves over here, into my curves, and inside the RGB I'll create an S curve by creating these 3 points here. I'm not actually going to do the S curve, but what I'll do is to actually add some sort of haziness into my shadow area. So I'll just pull the blacks up this way to add that kind of haziness into my blacks to give it that more silhouette look. So just as you can see, it's looking very hazy. So that's the before adding the haziness to the image and after. Okay, this is looking very cool. So what I'll do next is to go into my blue tab and create the 3 points again, and just as we did for the RGB curve, we will actually pull our blacks inside the blue tonal range, and that will add some sort of blues. So just as you can see, it's added some sort of blues into our shadow areas. I think somewhere around 8 is okay for me. So that's before adding the curve and after. So basically, you see, we shot this with a phone, and I've been able to transform it from here to here, from here to here. I'm actually not a fan of discussing whether gear matters or gear doesn't matter, but then I think as a creative, one of the things you should actually prioritize is your skill. If you would want to be a good creative, the best thing you should prioritize is your skill to actually give you that kind of creative freedom to do more with the least mostly you have on you. So I actually got some prints out of this image. They were looking really cool, and if I don't tell you, I shot this with a low-end phone, you wouldn't even know or pay attention to that. So guys, we are trying to get this channel to 1k subscribers. Help us by subscribing, commenting and liking. If you don't have anything to say, just leave a fire emoji, and if there's anything that bothers you with photography, videography, you can actually ask or DM me on my social platforms on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. You can even mail me. Yeah, just feel free. Let's form that big family we intend doing. So guys, so we bring today's episode of my Capture One tutorial session to an end here. And I hope you found this video very informative and educative. So tell your friend about Anchor Studios. Let's form a big family and learn a thing or two. And Charlie, on to the next. Charlie, subscribe. Charlie, on to the next. Charlie, we will talk. Charlie, peace.